Cheap beer for you to drink. My name is JJ. Jacob, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we've had you here.
It's been a hot minute.
It's probably exactly 1 hot minute. So we have moved on from the Mike's Hard, and we are doing some Cider Boys. Tell me about these two.
Cider Boys, my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I have probably tried every single flavor they have, except for I just saw one at Jungle Jumps today. It's a boysenberry flavor. If you don't know, boysenberry is a fake berry. It is like a hybrid berry that they made out of, like, I think it's raspberries and blueberries. I'm not 100% certain.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was made famous by Knott's Berry Farm out in California.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of boysenberry flavored stuff. But yeah, it was made famous by that theme park.
That makes sense because I've been to Knott's Berry Farm and I saw a bunch of boysenberry stuff there. I saw some syrup.
Their mascot is literally a bear named Boysenberry. So, but yeah, Cider Boys, really good. I've been hanging on to these for a while. It's been a couple months that I've had these because the caramel apple, is actually the fall seasonal for Cider Boys.
Okay.
So, the thing is alcohol because it stays good.
It does.
And then this was, I believe, this was a seasonal, the Blackberry Wild, but it's become a rotational flavor. It's just not always available in the glass bottles. And Cider Boys is way better than the glass bottles if you have to have it at home. Draft is always the best option for it. But
draft, bottles, cans.
Yeah, the cans kind of hit or miss. Some of the flavors, if they're a little bit more acidic than others, they kind of take on the taste of the aluminum. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start out with?
I'd say the caramel apple. I think the caramel apple is the most unique of the two, and it's probably something that your viewers aren't going to be able to get their hands on for probably another year, if it ever comes back at all.
Well, hopefully it does. If it's good, it's the ingredients are actually on here. 100% hard apple cider, apple juice concentrate, natural flavors, malic acid to preserve freshness. 244 calories in this.
Yeah.
Hot diggity dog.
You can get fat off some ciders.
You sure can.
Yeah.
But, the good thing is that there's 12% of your daily potassium.
Yeah.
36 grams of carbs, too. My goodness. It is a twist off, thank goodness. I'm just going to pour a little bit in here.
Can't ruin the display.
Can't.
Thank you,
sir. That. Yes, thank you. I'm going to give it a good sniff. Oh, man. It does. On the second sniff, it smells like
apple butter and a little bit of caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that buttery taste. If you've ever been to a Renfest, they make a drink called a Butterwood. And it's a cider with like butterscotch schnapps or liqueur mixed into it. That's what this smells like. This smells like what that tastes like.
Does it taste like what that tastes like?
You're going to find out. I've tried this before. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Okay, let's try it out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So it's very tart.
That is so buttery.
Very tart, and then the entire back end is just butter.
Wow. Yeah, there's that initial bite of the tartness, and then I taste apple. I just taste caramel. That is interesting. So you have tried, like you said, besides boysenberry, you've tried all the Cider Boys.
Yes.
Where does this fall in the rankings for you?
This is pretty dang low.
Okay.
This is pretty low. I will say the only one that falls below this is they did a melon mojito one, and it tastes like you're drinking a pickle.
Pickle?
A pickle.
Pickle.
Because it's got mint in it.
Yeah.
And the mint with the acidity almost makes it taste like a dill.
Ew.
It's like herbal and sour. And you think of like apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
You immediately go, this tastes like a sweet pickle. That is the all-time worst Cider Boys flavor, and if it ever comes back, I don't know what the company's thinking.
I mean, hard pickle cider. There seems like there might be a market for that.
I wish I still had one left because it was actually bought by the roommate I was living with at the time. And they thought, oh, this is going to be really good, melon mojito. We both like cider. And they took one sip after I had already drank one. And I was like, you know what that tastes like?
Pickle.
A frickin' pickle.
Freaking pickle.
And they immediately said, you ruined it for me. They don't like pickles.
Thankfully, this one doesn't taste like pickles, but it tastes like you're drinking a butter tart
Yeah.
from the pastry shop down the street.
Yeah.
That is just very interesting. And now I understand how that bottle is 244 calories because you're drinking Paula Deen juice.
Yeah. I will say, I made the comment about the butterwood earlier. The butterwood is more sweet forward than the tartness, and you can actually taste the cider. It's like a blend of the two. It mixes a little bit better together. I think they got the ratios off on this. I feel like when you get caramel apple, you're expecting it to be a little bit more sweet because caramel is like butter, but then the second flavor is sickly sweet for a caramel.
Yeah.
And you don't really get any sweetness with it. This is mostly acidity and butteriness.
Which is just a strange combination. It's not bad, but it's not caramel apple in my eyes.
Yeah.
Buttery apple, maybe. You don't even get much apple. I'm excited for this one now because I'm hoping this one's better. Blackberry Wild. Apple, blackberry hard cider. This has a lot less calories, sort of, 204 as opposed to 244.
And that is a top flavor as far as cider boys go.
Okay, well now you got me all excited for it.
Yeah, it is one of, if not my favorite.
Have you had it on draft?
Yes. This is one of the ones I've had on draft. So I work for a brew house, and anytime a new flavor comes out, I'll check our inventory and see if they have it for kegs. And if they do, I'll ask my GM, I'll be like, hey, get this on draft next. Because we usually have 3 ciders on draft that aren't in-house ciders. So we usually get an Ace cider and 2 Cider Boys.
Wow. Okay.
So the cider boy we generally have on tap all the time is a rotation between strawberry, Grand Mimosa, and the pineapple one.
Okay.
But right now they have Ace Pineapple on tap. So,
Ace Pineapple is really good, though.
yes. I don't like Ace Pineapple in cans. I like it a lot better in
bottles
on draft.
On draft, okay.
It's got a little bit more acidity to it, and you can taste the sweetness a little better. But the bubbles from the draft just make everything better. They do have a pear one that I want to try. I haven't tried the Ace pear. Yeah, they had it at Jungle Gems.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the only one that's in a white box.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this Blackberry Wild, and then I want to ask you, because we talked about Ace. That smells.
You can still kind of smell the caramel. We probably should have rinsed the glasses.
That's a lot better.
Yep.
That's the sweetness I expect from a cider, because ciders are normally so sweet.
Unless you get an Imperial.
I don't know that I've ever had an Imperial cider.
Ace has Imperials. We'll have to try that sometime. Not my cup of tea, but
that's a good balance of tartness and sweetness, because blackberry, I think of one of the hardest fruits, and a good flavor from that fruit too. This is a great combination.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why you like this one.
For sure. It's very well balanced. I could get real dangerous with these ones. And yeah, just the sweetness from the apple plus the acidity of the cider itself, the acidity of the blackberries, they just kind of mesh together really well. Even though I can still taste the butter from the caramel apple one.
I can too, and honestly, that's not a bad thing.
It makes it taste like a cobbler almost, like a blackberry apple cobbler.
Holy cow. That is what... Okay, hang on. So besides
No, blasphemy.
Cider Boys, what are some of the other cider companies? Like there's Ace, there's Angry Orchard.
Ace, Angry
Blake's.
Orchard, Blake's. Blake's doesn't really. Blake's
You don't like
doesn't-
anything from Blake's?
Their ciders are a lot more straight up sour. They're closer to sours, honestly, than ciders, if I was being honest. There's a local, like you named the big four, honestly, as far as ciders go.
So for you, Cider Boys though is the top.
Ciderboys is tops. There is a local company called Hairless Hair. We've been there before,
Yeah.
and all their stuff is quality. Like their ciders are good, their sours are good. It's one of my favorite places to go just because of their ciders and sours. They have a rotating selection. They get a new one like every couple of weeks. It's amazing, and their food's really good too.
Pizza is so good.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor and try that.
You're making me blaspheme.
Well, you said blackberry cobbler, and that just made my head explode because that sounds so good. This ain't bad. It's a lot better than just the caramel by itself.
You're right. This tastes like the butterwood I was telling you about. If they made that, but with a blackberry cider instead of a regular one, it cuts through the acidity and the butteriness of the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a great combination.
Yeah, caramel apple blackberry cider boys. That's your next flavor.
There you go.
You can bring them both back.
And you can send us some free samples. All right, man. I had a whole chocolate bar. Now I've had some ciders. I've had a Mike's Hard. Sugar overload.
Good thing I got you the sugar-free Red Bull.
Yes, thank you. This was a treat. Thank you, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out what we're doing next.
There's always a new seasonal as far as Cider Boys and Mike's Hearts goes. There's unlimited potential there.
That's true.
We need to do an Ace Imperial. I need to have you try an Imperial cider. Like I said, they're not my cup of tea, but you might like them better than a regular cider.
I probably would.
Yeah, because there's a lot less sweetness to them, but you can taste the flavors a little bit deeper.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Cheap beer for you to drink. Let us know your favorite Cider Boys flavor down in the comments, or your favorite cider in general.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Again, you heard the man. Do it. Cheap beer for you to drink. Jacob, again, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching.